Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third episode, our B Spotlight, meaning BS means B Spotlight, for this week only. Maybe same time next year, you never know. I hope you're all having a great week. I certainly am. What about the two of you, Nick, Kat? How's your week been?
Yeah, I've had a great week. Not so great weather, but still a great week.
Well, Storm Kathleen will do that.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Kathleen?
Yeah, Storm
What
Kathleen, yeah.
good name.
Now I
Kind
know why they're called Kathleen.
of.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was Lottie that was describing why like storm names and stuff
Mm.
and how they're chosen, isn't
Oh,
it?
Yeah, I
is it
learned about that recently.
is it names? Like they're just alphabetical names. Is that right? Yes, and you just
Yeah,
pick a random
they
name.
start. I think they start in September, like beginning of storm season, and then depending on who detects it. So I think if it comes from just from the west, the metal like UK Met Office names it, or sometimes the Spanish, I think Spanish, Portuguese. I think depending on like where it arrives from,
Right.
to name it, and it alternates boy and girl names.
Ah. I
That's
like.
quite cool.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because it's like when you have like a really aggressive storm called like Dorothy or something, it doesn't really go. That means it's like a meaner name.
Like Dennis or something like that.
Dennis. Yeah.
Storm
There was a Storm
Doom.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Destruction.
Like you said, I do remember a storm, Dennis.
Yeah. I can't
Pretty
remember how
neat.
many years ago it was, but that does sound familiar now that I just said it.
Yeah. I like Damien. Damien would be a good name for a storm.
I just noticed something. Cat doesn't have her splint on.
Oh no, I don't. No.
Is it off? How's the wrist?
Well, I don't want to. It's a bit like gory.
Stiff, yeah. Is, it, is the wrist stiff? You got to do lots of exercises and
Yeah.
stuff.
You
Look at
see?
the scar! Oh, that's bigger than mine.
Yeah, I know. It's quite, oh,
It'll be fine. It'll fade. It'll fade.
yeah, no. Hopefully it'll be fine. But last weekend I climbed Helvellyn without the splint, stupidly, in 50-mile-per-hour wind. So I was literally getting like chucked around and I kept falling on it, which was so stupid because I just kept like slipping on and then the wind was pushing me. But hopefully it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Good vibes.
You'll be all right. You'll be
I'll be
all
all right.
right.
It's metal. If I can break metal, then you know what?
That's just impressive.
That is impressive. I'm not superhuman, so yeah.
Maybe you are.
Oh, could be.
You just
Yeah.
don't know it yet.
Well, no, I can't be in a cast again. I made it about how long was I in a cast for?
A couple of weeks. It wasn't that long.
4 weeks.
Was it 4
That
weeks? Was it that long?
was enough. I had enough. But yeah, on the mend now.
Good.
But yeah, how was yours, Andy? How was your week?
It's been an interesting week. Lots of gardening done. I have about 200 tomato plants sprouting right now. So
Oh,
yeah. So hopefully lots and lots of tomatoes for me this year. Last year wasn't good year for tomatoes. It was too damp. So I'm hoping to do better this year. And then my courgettes are coming through nicely as well. I've got 4 courgette plants that have sprouted so far, maybe 5.
Lovely.
The cornflowers are looking great that I seeded about 2 weeks ago. They're coming through nicely as well. The red clover is looking great. The red clover is going to be transplanted into my lawn. And the cornflowers are going into my little wildlife garden area. And
I love cornflowers.
Yeah, I think they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do them every year and then I put them in. And then hopefully like some of them will seed again into that area, but it's a lawn that I put plugs into, so I don't really think anything takes in that fashion, other than the ragwort. The ragwort just seems to go everywhere. So
Just do its own thing.
yeah, I've got to manage the ragwort quite heavily, but I'll leave a
Oh,
couple.
love it. Lots of moths.
Lots of moths. Yeah, I'll leave like 2 or 3 plants and then thing. But I didn't realize that ragwort is a biannual, like foxgloves. So the first year, it only grows a small like bushy plant at the bottom, and then the second year is when you get the shoots coming up with all the flowers on them, and then the plant dies. So actually when you see the flower, that plant is 2 years old at that point.
I know that.
I didn't know that either. I found out about that last year. So yeah.
It kind of makes sense. Yeah, I do see some baby ones actually. So are they still baby in the summer?
Yeah. So at the moment, all you'll have is the foliage. You won't have anything coming through. So the ones with the foliage are the ones that will be flowering this year. And then what will be happening with the seeds that landed in the ground last year, they'll now be sprouting.
Oh, nice. Well, you'll have to send us pictures of some lovely caterpillars on it.
I will. I'm looking for caterpillars now because I know they're out and about, but I still haven't found any in my garden. So
I actually haven't seen them. Have you, Nick?
I've seen quite a few, but yeah, I go out and about, so I've probably seen about a dozen or so.
Oh, nice. You take pictures. We need to see them.
I do.
wait, you had one. Did you have one last week in the
I had
Junior Wildlife Encounters last week?
I think I did have like an oak egg.
Yeah, I think you had a caterpillar.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've seen quite a few out and about. A few tiny ones where it's like green with a black head, and I'm not going to ID that one, but I'll try.
Yeah.
And I know Barnacle Bum has definitely been seeing caterpillars because they're all over our Discord channel. So
I need to venture onto this Discord. I need to have a look at it more.
Yeah, Pookie comes out like a wildlife calendar
every single day, every day,
every single day. It's incredible.
Here's all of my amazing encounters today. so the ones that went up to it's like 5 images of red squirrels.
I saw red squirrels.
Yeah, 5 images of red squirrels. A chipmunk that's about to leap, and then you got some woodpeckers, a beautiful chiff chaff image. No, Pookie, don't you worry. That's what we want to see.
We love it.
I absolutely adore it. You make me very jealous. You make me very, very jealous that you get to go out and do that as often as you do. I get lucky to go out once a week. So,
you know what? When I went to the Lake District, there were signs that red squirrels were there, but I didn't see any.
Oh, it's quite challenging. It is quite challenging to see them this time of year. The best time is autumn.
Right. Okay, because of the trees.
Yeah.
The leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, but best time is autumn because they're actually gathering, so they're out in force. So
right, I'll go back.
Yeah, I'll be looking for red squirrels next month. I'll be going to Crombie again, and then I'm hoping to go to RSPB Loch Leven.
Nice.
And then I'm definitely going to the Scottish Wildlife Trust Loch of the Lowes again, which I featured on the stream last week for the ospreys. There's not been much news from the ospreys in the last week. I haven't seen anything, but yeah, I'll be going there, and they get red squirrels too. So hopefully, I'll get to see a red squirrel and get a better picture than the one I got the first time I went to Crombie and showed.
That's what I was going to say. You might see one, but we'll never see it.
Luckily, even got their Uzis. There we go. Cool. Seen lots of mating. Oh, that's cool. That's good. John Voshich says Loch Garten. Yeah, I'll try and get Loch Garten as well, although that's a bit further away. I'm pretty sure Loch Garten's more into the Cairngorms. Loch Leven's in Fife, just outside Kinross. So it's about an hour and 20-minute drive from my parents, which is where I'll be staying. So I will be heading there. I'll be heading there, definitely. I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
Like I say, Loch of the Lowes and Crombie will be my 3 definite over the week. So
nice. Sounds like
Capercaillie on the RSPB channel today. Wow.
Oh, I love Capercaillie.
Pretty good.
There's a really good social media story going on at the moment about regarding Capercaillie, and it is literally just leave them alone. Well, thanks, Pookie. Let's see if I can get this up. Open link in new tab. Oh, Abernethy Capercaillie dust bath. Ooh, hello.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's a female having a bit of a dust bath there. That's definitely check out that. Definitely check out that link, folks. That is amazing.
I'd love to see a Capercaillie.
Yeah.
So would I, but there's like 600 left in the country.
It's ridiculous how few there are.
Yeah. They were wiped out and then they were reintroduced, and their numbers are just diminishing constantly because they constantly get interrupted by people trying to get photographs.
Yeah.
I almost had a massive moan about that on last week's stream, but I managed to stop myself.
Oh no, why?
So
On the moan.
So there's something I think that people need to understand about etiquette when they're out and about in wilderness. And it doesn't matter whether it is a triple SI, if it's a nature reserve, if it's a park. I don't think it matters. If there's something going on with a rare species of bird or any wildlife, for that matter, and you want to get a picture of it or you want to see it, you need to let the creature come to you. You don't go to the creature.
Yeah.
So examples being, last year there was an American warbler that was blown over in a storm.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And it was out in one of the Hebridean Islands somewhere, and there's pictures of this road, literally in the middle of nowhere. It's a single lane track, and there are hundreds of birders on this. And off to the right of this image is a single gorse bush. Okay, and this poor little bird is inside this single gorse bush, and it's not coming out. And people are there for hours and hours and hours, and they can't see it, and they're like, is it still there? Is it still there? They can hear it singing, but it's not coming out. It's right in the middle of the bush. So what do? People go and start shaking the bush to try and get the bird out. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Poor little thing.
Yeah.
What happened? Wait, what happened?
Also,
oh, sorry, Kat, on you go.
well, I was just thinking, like, it's the reason as well that they're shaking the bird. I always think it's like they just want a picture of it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? They don't
tick a box saying they've seen it. They don't care about it as an animal. It's just a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't really want to, like, just see it. They want to take a photo of it and tell everyone that they've seen it. That's my kind of weird issue with it. It's like not even like it's like kind of like a clout thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so yeah.
Yeah, the reason I got onto this is because I was chatting to one of our visitors, and he had a really bad experience. He was really quite angry, actually, and it's because he's been chasing lesser spots in Sherwood Forest all year. He did the same last year. He's doing it this year, and he's trying to learn the patterns. He's trying to figure out where the nests are. Like he's really into this, and he's been following a lone male, and it's drumming in the specific tree. But this tree's like 50 meters off the path. So I've seen it drumming in this tree. I've seen it from the main path. And it's a bit of a distance, but with a pair of binoculars or a good camera, you get fantastic views if you get to the right spot. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, you're going through a tree, but there was two gentlemen who I was stood with. They both had scopes. They got crystal clear images from this spot on this path. Somebody got phenomenal pictures from this spot. And then a couple of days later, I bump into the guy I'm talking about, and he's really angry. And I was like, what's going on? He goes, well, they were literally touching the tree. They were at the base of this tree, which is 50 meters off the path. So you've got to traipse through over undergrowth, okay, over brambles, through all the ferns, all this kind of stuff to get to this tree, just to get the angle and the view that you want. Instead of doing it from the path where you can see it perfectly. And that is not acceptable. So last year you might remember I showed a picture of a tawny owl in a tree. And this tawny owl, the tree is known as a tawny tree because it was the most famous tawny owl on Twitter last year. Everyone was getting pictures of it because it was always sat there. It was never not throughout the day. And loads of people come in to see it, loads of people getting pictures. And then it got to a point where people were literally going off the path, walking to 20 metres into the forest so they could get right to the base of the tree to get as close as they possibly could to take a photograph of it. And now the tawny owl doesn't use that tree anymore.
No way. That's such a shame, isn't it?
And what happened? So what happened to try and prevent that? So the outdoors team put some like a dead hedge, some of the tree cuttings and all that kind of stuff. They piled up in that area right next to the path to stop people going in, to say, look, you don't go across this, leave it. I was chatting to a gentleman back in February, and he was complaining about this, and he goes, oh, the tawny doesn't come here anymore because of this. To which I turned around and went, no, the tawny doesn't come here anymore because people were walking up to the tree to take a photograph of it.
So he was blaming the dead hedge.
He was blaming the dead hedge, not the people. And he was one of these individuals who was then proudly showing me a picture of a nightjar on its nest, okay, in broad daylight, and he'd taken that picture on his phone, which means he was right next to it when he took that picture. Oh, but it's okay. I'm really respectful, I am.
Oh no.
Sorry about the rant, folks. I apologise. I might swear in a second if I continue.
Yeah, that's such a shame though, isn't it?
It is.
It just shows the effect that things like that can have. Like it's literally moved trees. It's like first hand what it can cause.
Show the wildlife a bit of respect. Okay? You don't want people coming up to your window and looking in your window in your living room while you're watching the telly or having your dinner or anything like that. So why the hell is it okay for you to walk right next to the bloody thing, okay, whatever it happens to be, and take a photograph of it?
True. Yeah. I have another idea. I am now picturing Andy in an owl costume.
Sat in that tree.
Going, you don't like it.
Someone coming up to the tree, you jump down on. Yeah. See how you like it.
How do you like it? All up in your grill. Leave me alone.
I completely understand. People don't understand that nature reserves are for nature.
Yes.
They're not for people.
Yeah.
I had this woman walking through one of our nature reserves where we have cattle grazing, and she just had her dog off lead. One was chasing the cow, like visibly distressing the cow. I was like, please, can you put your dog on lead? They're scaring the cows. And I was like, oh no, I only scared it once, it's fine. And we got on this, I say conversation, other basically that you have to put that dog on a lead. You're scaring the cows with your dogs. And the woman's like, oh no, the cows are really scary as well sometimes. Like they're standing in the gate and I can't get through, and I have to get through to get my kids to school and things. And I was kind of getting in your mindset. It's like, I got to be respectful here because I work for this charity. I can't talk to you like I want to.
Yeah.
People just don't understand. It's like, oh, this nature's in my way.
I get to the point where I just turn around and walk away. Like, so for example, yesterday there was a young lad on his motorbike right next to the visitor centre, wheeling around on his motorbike. And obviously motorbikes aren't allowed in the forest, but we know they're being used. I had to go out and I go, can you get off your bike, please? Okay, turn it off, push it around. And he went, oh, sorry. And I was like, you know you're not allowed to be on it, right? And he's like, yeah. I said, so why are you doing it then? And his answer was, oh, no.
Yeah, no.
One is straight out the other.
Yeah, some people just don't care.
No, we have the same things with ponds. Dogs and ponds completely don't go together. You can have a dog pond, you can have a wildlife pond. They're not the same thing. But people don't understand that their dogs can't go in the pond. And they're like, but my dog loves water. Like, he loves it in there. Like, it's like his favorite place to go. They're throwing balls, and it's like, well, your dog's got loads of probably flea treatment on. It's kicking up all the silt in the pond. And it's disrupting wildlife, any wildlife that's in that pond. But they're like, oh, but he loves it. Oh, let him in. Go on.
I was out looking for woodpeckers last year, particularly green woodpeckers. Didn't find any. Found a lesser, but I didn't find a green. Anyway, moving on to the actual story. And I was just walking around, and there's 2 cocker spaniels going crazy off the lead. It's the height of breeding season and nesting season, and they're off the lead, and they're barking and running circles around this woman. And the woman's walking down the path while the dogs are in the trees doing their thing. And I turn around and go, good afternoon, how are you? And she's like, oh, I'm fine, thank you. And I'm like, can I ask that you put your dogs on leads, please? And she went, excuse me? Can I ask you put your dogs on a lead, please? It's breeding season right now. The birds are nesting. Mammals are breeding and stuff as well. And your dogs could be disturbing them. And I'm plain clothed. I'm not in uniform or anything. Completely plain clothed. And she goes, oh, it's okay. They don't do anything. Just as one of the dogs walks up with a dead grey squirrel in its mouth.
God.
Oh, God.
I kid you not.
I want to see their reaction. When
She was like, oh my god, put that down. To which I looked at her and I went, you were saying? It must have been dead. I went, no, I've just been watching them chase squirrels.
Even if it is dead, it's still doing something. It's picking up dead animals. Oh.
I mean, at least it was a grey squirrel. You know, devil's advocate here. At least it was a grey squirrel.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. But
it's always those dog walkers where it's like, oh no, they're friendly, and they're one of the most terrifying looking dogs you've ever seen. It's like, no, they don't. But I'm like, of course they do.
Yeah, I'm okay with dogs. Like I love dogs. I've got no problem with them coming up, jumping up at me, all that kind of stuff. But I know people who are actually terrified. Okay, it doesn't matter how big or small that dog is. They do not want that dog close to them. And it's when the dog owner goes, it's okay, it won't hurt you. It's like,
oh, that's okay then.
It doesn't matter. I don't want it jumping up on me. I tell you what, I'll go jump up on you. I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you.
Another idea. Andy's dressed up
dog
as a
costume.
dog.
So I'm now a frog, I'm now an owl, and I'm a dog. Woohoo!
We've got the fox costume as well. Don't forget that one.
Yeah.
Oh, the fox! Yeah, you can't forget the fox.
No. I'm not doing that. The fox, the cat's the one that's got to wear the fox, not me.
Oh, fine. I'll wear the fox.
That was agreed back when we were watching that.
But the fox one's creepy. Like, what's the message of the fox one?
Excited. I'm impeccable. Yes, excited for the Halloween stream. We definitely all have to dress up for the Halloween stream.
Do I still get the fox though? Because I'll actually give people nightmares with that.
You can get a nicer fox outfit than that one, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Doesn't have to be that horror one. That horror one was.
Oh, I was thinking the horror one.
No. That horror one was bad.
Okay,
Send me an email. Where did you get this one from?
yeah. Hey, just saw your news article. Love the mask. Something similar for myself.
Yeah, cool. Right. Anyway, enough of me moaning about people not being kind to nature and having patience, as in it being an actual virtue that you should show. Anyway, moving on. Shall we talk? Let's talk bees. Let's talk bees and talk about wildlife encounters and any bees that we may have seen in the last week, 2 weeks, you know. And I've got everybody's bee images from Discord as well, ready to show too. So we will be looking at them afterwards. And I also have lots of bee facts. Bee facts.
Perfect.
Ooh, I love bee facts.
Bee facts. But first and foremost, we're going to look at images. So who's going to go first? Is it going to be Nick, Kat, or myself? Who's going to go first?
Shall I go first?
Yes, Nick, you go first.
I'll
Okay.
go first.
Where are we starting?
I'll start with a honeybee.
Honeybee.
Classic.
Yeah. There we go.
So yeah, this was, I think, the day after our stream. So it's last Thursday, the day after our last week's stream, when we said, let's go look out for some bees. And I was waiting like next to the truck, and I saw some bees. Like, oh yes, bees. Went up to it, and it was a honeybee. I was very happy because that was my first honeybee of the year, and it was perfect. I can tick it off to my list of bees to see for next week.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I haven't seen any honeybees this year yet.
I hadn't actually seen a honeybee since last Thursday. That's the one time I've seen honeybees this year. So I'm not sure if they're emerging later or things like that.
Sure. It's interesting. My news about bees is actually about feeding them and stuff. So
Okay.
them showing up later could be a reason. You never know. Lack of food.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. So that's the first species of bee. We have a honeybee.
Honeybee.
Number one.
And then I'll go on to tawny mining bee.
Nice.
This is the one that got me really excited when I. So do you know if this is a male or a female? Because I do now.
That's a male.
It is a male.
And I did see a female, but my picture of a male was a bit better, more in focus. It was great. I was walking along RSPB Conwy, just like one of the paths, and we saw a female. They're just standing out on this wooden like barrier of the path, and he was just standing out really nicely, just bathing. And so we had a look at that. Then saw a bit later that there were actually a few more males just like next to it, all kind of hovering around the same patch. So I think it was one female and 3 males. I think we saw in the end. It was really nice.
It's got a little blue friend just at the bottom of the image there.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Good spot, Pookie.
That's a very good spot. That's got to be like less than 2 millimeters long. That is minuscule.
Well, tawny mining bees, when I first saw an image of these, I thought they were a lot larger than they actually are. They are tiny. They're like just over a centimeter long.
Yeah. Teeny tiny. It's such a cute
absolutely tiny little things.
I've never seen one of these. These are so cool.
Yeah.
The females are even cooler, which I'm sure we'll see later on.
You will definitely see one, because I've got an image, and then one of the visitors to the forest sent me some pictures of tawny mining bees, both male and female. I was talking about this last week. You will definitely see them later when we start showing them off. They are stunning. Stunning bees. They honestly.
Oh, I'm excited.
So this is just a sneak peek of tawny mining bees.
Tawny mining bees.
Yes, I saw that one, and then I'll go to some bumblebees. Go on to my buff-tailed
bumblebee.
Nice.
I've seen quite a lot of bumblebees actually. I can't remember when I saw the first one, but it must have been February or so. I've seen them for a good month out and about. A few more sunny days recently, seeing a lot more. And on this wall, walking to the train station, and saw this really lovely buff-tailed queen. I think I've just seen queens up until, I think it was yesterday. I think I saw my first worker. Just seeing, because I've seen just queens, they're massive, and then I saw a really tiny, I was like, oh, maybe that is a worker. Compared to all the massive queens.
Yeah, Pookie, you're right, they do never sit still to get a picture of them. They're an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Sometimes the queens are a bit easier because, they land, look for a nest, and then they like dive right into like crevice or hole. So I sit there with my phone going, please come. And eventually they come out and I'm like, yes, effect. Oh, I was out of focus, and it flies off and it's gone.
Yeah, that's the worst out of focus, isn't it? As well, it looks kind of clear when you're like taking it outside because it's like bright and all of that, and then you're like, that's a good picture, come back blurry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I have like many photos, and my tactic now is to get a picture and just go into
Oh,
loads of photos. And then one of them will be in focus, and I have to go back and say no, no, no. Ah, yes, one in focus.
see, I need to learn to delete the ones that aren't very good as well, because I've just got loads and loads of photos of the same thing.
Sorry, I'm eating ginger cake.
Oh,
Ginger cake. Did you make
just
ginger
rub it in.
cake? Yeah, I'm kind of hungry.
I didn't make ginger cake, no.
You
Oh.
bought ginger.
They purchased ginger cake, but I love ginger cake.
You could have said you made it. I would have believed it.
Don't lie.
Oh, we're here at Nature's BS.
Anyway, carrying on. Did you
Next
bring
week.
enough for everyone? Sorry, Burger Chris. Next time at Frampton Marshes, I'll try and get you cake. If not, I'm confiscating it. I've still got some more. There you go. You can have another bit.
Open wide.
Your hand coming in and grabbing
Ooh,
it.
Pookie, we call it breakfast cake.
Oh,
That's cool. Does that mean I can eat cake for breakfast? Sold.
yeah. Winner.
Right, because that's a lovely buff tail. Okay, so that's just now up to 3 species. Yes, you can hear.
Only can you
Good
sit there,
evening, barnacle bum. That's a good one. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had more bee-themed jokes, guys.
That's true. We need to pick it up.
We need bee
Yeah.
puns.
Pick it up. Everyone gets double points for any bee-themed puns and jokes today.
And Burger Chris said, I just had a hot cross scone. Ooh, hot cross scone.
Scone, is that a thing? A hot cross scone? Like not a hot cross bun?
It's a scone
I
with a
don't
hot
know.
cross on it, you know? I'll eat any cake.
Especially have a hot cross on it.
It is a thing at Frampton. Ooh,
Group trip to Frampton.
yeah.
I
Sounds
think
good.
I need to go back to Frampton. I absolutely loved it there. It was amazing. And I got to meet Burger Chris, which is even cooler. And honestly, it is the stuff I saw there was just phenomenal. I did that was basically what my wildlife encounters were last week, wasn't it, Nick? Was my
Yeah.
was my trip to
Here's what I
Frampton
saw
Marsh.
around the next corner. 2 seconds later, this live
And then I
photo.
saw this, and then I saw this, and then I saw this, and then I saw this. I still need to write that trip into my bird diary, but there's so much to write up. Burger Chris says, yes, everyone needs to come to Frampton.
We've been told.
Well, the
We'll
stream
make
would.
a beeline for it.
Oh, yes,
There we go. There we go. Like that. Anyway, moving on. Buff-tailed. What's the next one? So you have a honeybee, you've a
Next one.
tawny mining bee. You've had a buff-tail.
We'll go to a white-tailed.
Oh, white-tailed.
This was taken with the same tactic of seeing it fly, land somewhere, looking for a nesting site, wait for it to come out, and grabbed a photo.
Nice. That's a good photo.
It was a really nice one. I'm not sure if it was just the lighting or the position or something, but a really nice photo. I like that one. So that's my white-tailed, and then I'll finish with a red mason bee. When was this? On Friday, I think it was. I was thinking about like, I got some nice photos of bees, and I was walking back to check something for a friend, and I saw a dandelion. I was like, oh, there's a bee there. Maybe it's a new bee. And I checked, and it was a red mason bee. It's a new, I'm getting good at this now. And it was a newbie. And it's a red mason bee. So that is all my bees.
All your bees.
Nice.
Hive of
cool.
bees.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're up to 5 so far. I'm going to do tally marks somewhere. Give me a piece of paper. Piece of paper so we can do tally marks.
Nice.
Okay, so bee count is.
Oh, barnacle bum. Beautiful. I like it.
Hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on 5 bees so far. Okay, moving on. Is it going to be yourself or me next, Kat?
You can go.
You want me to go? Okay.
Go if you want.
So, my first one isn't a bee, but it is
Sure.
a bee fly.
Ah,
Because I said
nice.
everything
Oh, that's
with
a
B.
great photo.
Oh, that is a good photo. Just
Just
don't
don't start to drone on. Yes, bee flies are so cool. I agree, Barnacle Bum. I love bee flies. They are, yeah, they're just quite exciting to see. It also tells you that the bee population in my little area is actually quite good, because if bee flies are as popular as they are here, it means there's lots of bees nesting. So, because what bee flies do is they throw their eggs very accurately into the hole where
The flingy ones. Aren't
yeah.
They?
So they
seen
throw their egg into the hole where the female bee has laid her eggs, and it nestles in there, and then it hatches sooner, and then it'll eat the pollen, and then the egg/larva of the bee, and then it'll come out the next year. So they're very, very, very cool little creatures.
They're really cool.
So this is the first bee fly from me. I don't have any more, but I know there's more bee flies coming. So are we going to add that to the bee count, or will we have
an honorary bee? Maybe
It's an honorary bee. Okay, I'm going to put a small tally mark next to it. Okay,
Yeah.
to say that it's
Half a bee.
we've had a bee fly. Okay, the next one I have is what's called an early bumblebee.
Ooh.
So here we go. Again on the forget-me-nots in my garden.
Lovely photos.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice photo. I love forget-me-nots as well. They're so bright.
Mm.
I've got a nice patch at the top of the garden at the moment, right next to my sycamore tree, and the bees are all over it. And there's loads of nettles in there as well, which I think I might have a picture of in a minute. And they're literally feasting on the nettle flowers, and they're on an honorary bee. I've always found bees relatively chilled. Yeah. But there we go. So that's an early bumblebee, so we can add one to our tally.
Ah.
Okay. The next one is a hairy-footed flower bee.
Ooh.
This was not in my garden. This was across in Anderton, which is in Cheshire. I went there last Saturday, and we were just out in the forest, a nice little woodland, which is basically reclaimed from an old factory. It's turned into woodland now, and lots of lovely bees, including this one, the hairy-footed flower bee.
Nice.
It's called a hairy-footed flower bee because it's got hairy feet.
Wow.
It's quite big. It looks quite.
Flower bee sat on a dead leaf. Sus. Yes. There we
Nice.
go. Okay, so we're going to add another tally mark. We're up to 7 now. Okay. I found another hill cuckoo bee in the garden. I showed this off a couple of weeks ago, but this is a different one. Again, on the forget-me-nots.
They love your forget-me-nots.
They do
don't
love my
they?
forget-me-nots.
Yeah.
Up to 8. We're up to 8 bees now.
Wow.
This one, I'm not sure what it is.
Oh.
It's possibly a female tawny, but I'm not sure. It's on the nettles. But tawny mining bees prefer to feast on flowering trees, like fruit trees, so apples, cherries, that kind of thing. So I'll be doing a bee spotlight, on I'll be doing a focus on tawny mining bees in a minute. So there we go.
I don't know what type of bee that is.
I don't know what type of bee it is either. So we've got, it's a different type of bee. I'm going to put another little small tally mark because we're just not sure what type of bee it is. But yeah, you can see it feasting on the nettle's nectar there. Nettles are great for for wildlife folks. Please keep a little patch of nettles in your garden if you get them. They are amazing. Many butterflies and moths use nettles as their to feed on and to lay their eggs on as well. So there we go. And one final little bit, which was actually a little bit of a amazing wildlife encounter. I've got a bee hotel and a bug hotel, and nothing's ever used it. And then I saw this.
Someone's checking in.
He's checking in. Does he have a booking?
I don't think so.
Kick him out.
Must have reduced your rates this year. I think I have.
You want advertisement out?
Oh wow.
Airbnb. Brilliant one, impeccable. That's amazing.
Nice.
That's spot on.
That's got to win.
I love it.
Yeah. Then it flies off. Bzzz.
It had a little mooch. Not for me.
So there you go.
Oh,
they just have to get their bags to move in. You never know.
So that's us now up to. We had 1, 2, 3. I've already had the Tawny. That's cool. So you got 5. I got 3. So we're up to 8. We're now moving on to Cat.
Bernie Chris has said, "Can we go back to the mystery bee?"
Can we go back to the mystery bee? We can go back to the mystery bee.
I think we're an ID on the mystery bee.
There we go. Oh no, wait a minute. I need to get rid of the. I have left that one running. There we go. Right, okay. Mystery bee is back up, and a bigger pick would be nice. No problem. I can do that too.
You should have like a bee quiz. Like, what species is this? Like section 3 or something.
Yeah, we should have done a bee quiz.
We should test everyone at the end after all the bees they've learned.
Oh yeah. There you go. If we can remember them.
There we go.
Wow.
We'd all scored B+.
People are on it. This is good.
I'm loving this.
Funny. Like, these are really funny. I think that's a tree bumblebee, Bernie Chris says.
A tree bumblebee. Ooh, let me look that one up. Tree bumblebee. Ooh, that's a good shout. That is a good shout.
Yeah, that
Chris.
looks very similar, doesn't it?
The colour of the end of the abdomen is white on the tree bumblebee, though. This one's got an orange buff. The nettles are but tiny, tiny trees. Yes. On a big 7, widespread and abundant species found in a wide range of habitats across the UK despite only first arriving. There's really 2 with ginger backs that are common carder, but it's too early for common carder. Okay. So it's got to be. So it's going to have to be a tree. Okay, so whatever it is, we've now got an extra one. We're up to 9 now. Wow. Thank you, Burger Chris. That's very cool. All black and semi-melanic specimens are not infrequent, but there's usually ginger discernible at the front or back of the thorax. There you go. Darker worn specimen. Yep, okay. I can get ginger. I can get a ginger bum as well.
A ginger bum.
A ginger bum.
Aww.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, we can make that bee disappear.
Be gone.
Be gone. And we move into cat bees.
Did I put a bee meme on there?
You didn't put a bee meme on there. Sorry, no.
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
You didn't. I've got an anatomy. I've got bee on a pond.
It buzzed off.
It buzzed up. Oh no. Well, oh, ha! I will. Can I link it? I'm gonna link it on the chat. I thought I did.
Oh, it's on Reddit as well. Let's have a looky.
Bumble and bee. I thought everyone would find that really funny. Bee anatomy.
Oh no, you did. Yeah. I can bring that up. I did.
That's it.
I didn't realize that why that was a thing. Bleebee bum. Bumblebee.
Blibby.
Yeah, see, bumblebee anatomy. Bumblebee. There you go. We got it in the end.
True scientist.
I had it on my phone. I was like, actually, this is a fine time to bring this out. All the useless memes I've saved on my phone.
If that was this one.
Yeah. But bee wise, I saw a few bees. Probably well, I think all of them are repeats of what we've had, so can't really add more to the list. But start with the white-tail bumblebee. Sorry, Andy, I did not name any of them.
I've got to go try figure out which one that
This
is
is
now.
a test of your ID now.
It's not that one. I think it's this one. I think that's the whitetail.
This one I wasn't really sure on, because it's a bee bottom.
E-bum.
It's a bee bum. Does anyone know? Can anyone identify this bee bum?
Let's try and get a bigger picture of it.
I want to say common carder. That's my first instinct.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So, guys, this wasn't taken recently, by the way. So, this was obviously you can tell by the plant. It's taken in the summer. So, I think it is a common carder from the bum. But yeah, let's see what everyone thinks. That should be a game. Identify the bee bum. It is a bit hard.
I think we're up to it though. As a group.
I think so.
Birdicris knows his bees.
Does he know his bee bums though?
Oh, that's the real question. That's the stinger.
Well, this time no one's guessing, so we'll.
Bearder.
Bearder Chris. Instead of birder Chris, bearder. Bearder.
We're gonna have to take our guesses then.
So you think a common carder? Oh,
Yeah.
Let me have a look through my British Insects book.
Consult the manuscript.
Ooh, says Barnacle Bum. Right, I'm looking for a bee with a white bum. Bee with a white bum.
Are you using your Collins insect guide?
I am
Andy?
using my Collins Complete British Insect Guide.
Every single insect in the entirety of the
I
British
don't
Isles.
think it does.
Chris has said a gentleman would never stare at a lady's bum, and workers are all female. So,
Well, that's very true. Yeah.
fair enough. Chris is like this at the screen.
I don't think it's any of them. It might be that one. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. It's got a yellow back across. Basically, its whole back is yellow.
Is it me? Or is it like it has like a spike coming out the back of its? Can't tell which bit it is. Is that the head? It looks like it's like it's the wing. It's just the angle.
Yeah, it does.
Like a spike or something. Oh, it's a unicorn bee or something.
What species is this? It's a unicorn bee.
Add that to the tally.
Yeah,
I can't quite tell. I
it
said
does look.
that's just how good I am with these things.
Well, we'll go possible common Carter bee. Possible.
Cool. I'm going to put a little tick next to. Things because that wasn't this year. It was in the summer. So we're up to 9 species at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. You could just put pictures on because it doesn't
Okay,
really
so
matter.
I'll do the bee on a pipe.
The bee on a pipe.
The bee on a pipe.
Well, I believe this is a queen buff-tailed bumblebee.
We've had buff-tail already, haven't we? Have we had buff-tail already?
And Nick found a queen as well, so we're twinning on that. And they're both on like weird pipey walls. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Both.
Maybe they just really like human infrastructure.
Yeah, they've got an eye for it. Like, oh, this rusty pipe. What?
Shevsky.
Beely Piper.
That's an impressive one there.
Honestly, I don't know where you come up with these things. You don't need to be sorry about that. That's brilliant.
Oh, love that. And then I found another buff-tailed bumblebee. But I took a video of it, so this is the video, Andy, that I put on. I would like someone to explain what it's doing because I wasn't really sure. It kind of looks like it's like rubbing on the dirt. And it was doing that for quite a while.
Is it collecting dirt to take to a nesting site? Because they pick up dirt to like mud to move to like the little holes that they created so they can seal them up. So is it doing that?
Maybe it's doing that because it was kind of like shuffling. But yeah, I was thinking like, is it digging? Is it? Yeah, like I think you might be on the money with that.
That's very cool though.
Yeah. I should have stayed really longer to see what it was doing, but it was doing that for quite a while. And I wanted to find adders, so needs must. And then I have a honeybee. Or just bring up any, Andy.
I'm trying to see. So we had the bee in a pipe, we've had that. Bee on purple flower we've had. Oh, yeah. Oh! Just followed! Thank you so much! Krakauer, just followed. Welcome to the team. I hope I spelled that right. Krakauer. Krakauer 79. Have we made the Barnacle Bumble joke yet? No, we haven't!
Nice.
Bumblebee.
There we go. Is that the right one? The one on the pond? Looks like it's taking a drink.
Oh.
Yeah, taking a nice sip of lovely, actually gross pond water. I probably wouldn't have picked pond. Guess they're not picky. But yeah, honeybee. See, I actually have a news story on honeybees. Not the same one as you, Andy.
That's good.
Different ones.
Buzz.
Buzz.
The BuzzFeed. Not the newsfeed. It's the buzz. It's the BuzzFeed this week. BuzzFeed.
Ah, BuzzFeed. Yes. Love it.
Make a tally of all the bee jokes we've had.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot.
Another one.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Cool. And then your final one is this lovely one on wild marjoram. I'm pretty sure this is wild marjoram. A plant I can never seem to grow.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
It's beautiful stuff.
can't.
I've seeded it again this year, and again it has not sprouted.
Oh,
I wonder why. I'm trying to think where I found this. Is it acidic? Does it like acidic?
It might be. It might be the sort. I'm doing it in compost at the moment, and the marigolds have come through, the red clovers come through, the cornflowers have come through, but none of the wild marjoram have come through.
Oh, I want to see photos of bees on your cornflower.
As soon as
that'd
they're
be good.
flowering, I will be out there taking pictures.
I bet there's buzzing.
Hope so.
Buzzing. Yeah. But yeah, believe this is a white-tailed.
Yeah,
bumblebee.
I think that's a white tail as well. It's got a white tail.
It's very
So-
white tail.
So do buff tails, don't they? Oh, what was I getting confused with it last time?
I think it's white and buff.
Yeah.
So some buff tails have white tail, but I think this is particularly white. So go with that.
It's
Yeah.
probably of someone.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're up to 9 so far. And I think it's now time to show off all of your images, folks. So I'm going to start off with Fware. She sent through this image on Discord. And this is of a black-winged bee fly. So it's not a bee, but it is a bee fly. You know, we can't say no to bee flies. I'm going to add that to my little small tally marks because we've had a normal bee fly, and this is a black-winged bee fly. This is a different species. Look how cool that is.
It's
Is it alive?
really cool.
It is alive, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's alive.
Just posing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
resting.
I think it's very well. Nice. Love bee flies. So bloody cool.
And then the next one, this is a short video, and I've managed to put the names and everything in. And if I knew what type of bee it is, I've put it on there. So please, if your image comes up and you know what type of bee it is, please let us know. But here we go. So we're going to start off with some tawny mining bees. These are by Peter Calvert. This is the visitor I've been talking about.
Those. Whoa.
So the third image, the one with the really red back, is the female. As is the fourth image. And then the two that were in the ground were males. And there's a male as well. And then this one's a Marsham's nomad bee. This was also spotted in Sherwood Forest. He's pretty sure it's a Marsham's nomad bee. So that's just up to 10 different species. And then there's barnacle bums, 2 bees stuck in a dandelion.
Love that.
Second image by barnacle bum, another image by Pookie, and then we're done. I will put them back on. I'm going to do what the
That
proper
nomad
is.
bee looks like a hornet almost. Really vibrant, in contrast yellow and blacks.
It does, doesn't it?
And
If I saw that, I wouldn't have said that's a bee.
Yeah, it looks a bit musky, doesn't it? Yeah. I love the tawny mining bee, how fluffy they are.
Yeah, they're absolutely stunning.
They are really stunning. I need to see one of these. The Martian's nomad bee, that looks like
It looks like a wasp.
a bit of a tough guy.
Yeah.
Compared to a fuzzy bumble.
Yeah, exactly.
And there we go, folks. So thank you so much for sharing them on Discord. If you're not part of our Discord community, there is the link there. You forgot the one from ID. Oh, I forgot the one from ID Help. Oh, don't say that. I can't go in there now. Sorry, Pookie. Because if I do, you'll lose us.
I'll see if I can find.
If you can find it.
Me.
I'll be able to find it on my phone. I can find it on my phone. The next time we do
confusing.
one of these, what we're going to do is we're actually going to set up a specific channel for you to put your pictures into. Another butterfly. That's a butterfly.
I think it's quite far back.
Is it quite
March
far back?
26th.
Is it?
It's a really cool, like almost all black with some ginger hairs.
Ooh.
My
Yeah.
best guess was a Clark's Miner's Bee.
So it's this one. I'm going to show it on stream. There we go. That's a pretty cool image, actually.
Nice, cool.
I'm going to turn it up to 11. We're on 11 bees now. 11 bees and 2 bee flies.
Wow.
Because it's a Clark's minor bee. Awesome. Well done, everyone. I am very happy with that. 11 different bee species, 2 bee flies, some fantastic images.
We done well.
We've done very well.
2 bee flies or not 2 bee flies?
That is the question. Awesome. Yeah, chuffed with that.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, so next time we will definitely set up a separate channel for focus on a specific thing. We're not going to. I don't think we're going to do another one this month, but maybe next month. We've got to think about what our challenge will be for next month.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks' time, we'll set up another challenge that will run for 2 weeks. And we're going to do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Kind of Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Sorry, I'm showing my age. That I remember when the first Karate Kid came out.
I've watched Karate Kid.
Yeah, but I remember when it was released.
The new one was released in like 2005.
Well, yeah.
That's the new one.
But at that point, I was 26, so. But there we go. Cool. Right, shall we move on to our species focus, which I believe is all bees as well. All bees. So we'll start with Nick. And you were doing your red mason bee, weren't you, Nick?
Yes.
I'm going to bring that image back up again.
Species height? Is that what species?
Species.
Yes, red mason bee. So, red mason bees are common and familiar throughout most of the UK. They get their name from their habit of nesting in cavities between brickwork, although they also happily frequent solitary bee hotels. Females can be seen harvesting mud, which they use to seal up their nest cells, which
why they're called mason
your video
bees.
Was. Allowing their young to safely develop, keeping them nice and snug over winter. They will feed on many cultivated garden plants and spring flowering shrubs and trees, especially apples and pears. They also visit agricultural orchards and oilseed rape fields and are renowned for their efficiency as pollinators. Seen from April, but sometimes late March to June, these bees are common throughout much of the UK, especially in lowland urban environments across England and Wales. Records extend to central Scotland up to Perthshire, recently found in Ireland. Rather than collecting pollen and transporting it on their legs like many other bees, red mason females collect pollen in hairs on the underside of their abdomen, in a structure known as a pollen brush. When the pollen brush is full, the underside of the bee can look very bright and vibrant, depending on the colour of the pollen collected.
Ooh. That's very
cool. The red mason bee.
How long is a red mason bee? How big is it roughly?
Oh, I don't know. I'll get an actual figure instead of me trying to estimate it.
That'd be quite cool to know.
It
looks like maybe between 10 and 15 millimeters. It doesn't look huge. It looks quite a small bee.
Yeah, 6 to 11 millimeters.
6 to 11. It's even smaller than that.
It's quite small, isn't it?
Those dinky little things.
And because last week I forgot to find the name in different languages and I had 4 species. So this week I have got. Well, I tried to find red mason bee in 4 different languages. Turns out that was quite hard.
The fact that you went looking for 4 separate languages.
Yeah, I love.
So I found red mason bee in 2 languages, and then a mason bee and just a bumblebee. So I got a bit of a range.
Okay.
So bumblebee in Welsh is Cachgibwm, Cachgbwm.
So how did you pronounce that?
Cachgibwm.
Cachtibum.
I think.
Cachtibum. Cachtibum.
Cachgibwm.
Cachtibum. That's very
So
that is
bumblebee
very
in
cool.
Welsh.
If that's what it is in Welsh, that's awesome. Cachtibum.
That's as far as I could find. Red mason bee in German is Rostrotsmarbeeren.
Rosroch Mar.
I'll put these in.
Put them in
the
chat.
chats.
Put them in chat.
Yeah, instead of people trying to get so. Bumblebee in Welsh.
Bumblebee in Welsh is Cachtibum. Cachtibum.
I'm gonna remember.
I need to remember that. Yeah.
And then in German
is Rostrotmauerbien. Rostrotmauerbien.
I'm not very good at a German accent. Rostrot.
Languages are not my forte.
You've got to roll your R in German. So it's Rostrotmauerbien.
I bet any German are going to.
I apologize to so many people.
So mason bee in French. Okay.
Yeah. Something habile maçon.
Oh, habile maçon.
Habile maçon.
Habile maçon. Okay.
Maybe.
Habile mason bee. That. Oh no. Fair enough.
And then finally, red mason bee in Dutch, so we can have someone verify this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rossa Metzelbe?
Okay, Pookie.
Correct.
So that's my.
Baragabum, poke someone.
So that is me making up for my 4 species without translations last week.
Sounds good, says Pookie. Awesome. Well done.
Proud of that.
B equals bij.
Bij.
Rossa Metzelbij. Rossa Metzelbij. That's cool. Well, that was very exciting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is there really pretty, fluffy? Bij, please. You're coming out with some good ones.
Cool. Right. So, B in Scottish Gaelic is Silen. Is it Silen?
Silen.
So is it say or say? An armored executioner. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Pookie. Oni typed that wrong. Okay. More like by. Ah. Sounds like Shelian. Shelian. Okay. Shelian. Shelian.
Shelian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should kind of get it, Andy.
I should, but I don't know Gaelic, so. It is a language I've always wanted to learn, though. But there's less than I think it's less than 15,000 actual native speakers of Gaelic now.
At least you know how to say B.
B.
Yeah. B.
Cool. All right. Moving on. This is Baragabum. Moving on. We are moving to the tawny mining bee. Because I got very excited when I saw Peter's images of this, and I went away and did it. And then I found one in my garden, and here's an image from my garden.
Oh,
This
oh
is a
wow.
this is a
Ah,
uh,
oh wow. Look at that. Look at the red on that bee.
I
Such a
know,
deep red. It's great.
it's amazing. I couldn't believe I found this in my garden. I was like, what?
Yeah, I
The first
know.
one I ever saw was that picture that Peter showed me, and he showed me when we were in the cafe, and I was like, gotta send me those pictures, please send me those pictures. And then 2 days later, I was in the garden, and there's one flying around my garden.
That is so cool. It
So,
hurts.
tawny mining bees are one of our most recognisable spring-flying solitary bees, with dense orange-red hair, although the males are not as striking or noticeable as the females. These mining bees can be found nesting in large groups and can be common in urban environments and garden lawns. Males are much harder to identify. They are smaller and thinner than the females. Their hair is browner and not quite as dense. They have protruding jaws, although can be difficult to distinguish from several other similar looking mining bees without close inspection. Females are honeybee sized bees with thick red-orange hair on the thorax and long, dense, and slightly lighter orange hair on the abdomen. Their legs, faces, and undersides are all black haired, as you can see from this one. Habitat nesting and flower preferences. Found in a wide variety of habitats with no real preferences of note, these bees are commonly found in gardens and parks, creating their nest cavities along south-facing embankments with sparse or short vegetation, including managed lawns. They feed from a wide variety of flowers, including buttercups, dandelions, hawthorn, blackthorn, maple, willows, and fruit trees. It mates in spring, after which the male dies and the female starts to build a nest. Sometimes more than 100 females build nests in a few square metres, but the tawny mining bee does not create a colony, each female having her own nest. The tawny mining bee is therefore classified amongst solitary and communal bees. The nest is a vertical shaft of 200 to 300 millimetres, that's 8 to 12 inches deep, with several brood cells branching off it. The female fills these cells with a mixture of nectar and pollen, on which she lays one egg in each cell. The larva hatches within a few days, grows quickly, and pupates within a few weeks. The adults emerge in spring after hibernation. They're seen from March to June, commonly found throughout most of southern Britain, with increasing records in central Scotland and a few from Ireland, where it is much scarcer. There you go.
Wow.
That's the
Nice.
tawny mining bee.
Cool little bee.
I was very excited. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So happy to find one in my garden. I hope it's nesting in my garden.
You really
Yeah.
are striking.
Yeah.
Where did you find it? Like, is it on the table?
It's literally, it landed on my garden table, yeah. So this is the table I eat my breakfast on or lunch on when the weather's good. I also do potting on, stuff like that, when I'm out in the garden and stuff in it, so.
You might get a friend next time.
Yeah.
While you're potting, hey, it'll come. Hey, Andy.
There we
You
go.
Cool little bee.
Cool, and moving on to cats now. So I'll bring
Yep.
up your one on some lovely primroses.
And some lovely primroses. That's very spring, isn't it? It's a very spring photo. So we talked a bit about bee flies. But I thought I'd go into a bit more detail about them because they are kind of cool. So this is a dark-edged bee fly. This is the most common bee fly species in the UK. It is widespread across England, Wales, and Scotland, occurring in urban gardens, city parks, as well as woodland and coastal areas. So yeah, I found this one in a woodland, but I've been seeing them everywhere, to be honest. But they're just quite, what's the word? Skippy. They kind of
Yes, they are.
yeah, kind of remind me of dragonflies when you try and get a photo of them, and I was actually on a walk with my friend, and I was trying to explain. I was like, "Oh, there's a bee fly there." She was like, "What's a bee fly?" But every time I'd be like, "It's there." It would then fly away, so it just kind of looked like I was making it up. So I had to show her actually a picture of it, so she believed me. But yeah, this species of bee fly is one of the earliest to emerge, having pupated over winter. Dark-edged bee flies usually start to appear in March, but people sometimes report sightings as early as mid-February after unseasonably warm and sunny days. They don't usually fly in temperatures less than 17 degrees. Depending on where you live, you also might see a dotted bee fly in the spring, currently found along the South Wales coast and in southern England as far as the Midlands. This species is also spreading north. But so it kind of looks like this, but instead of the edge, the band, it will have little dots on its wings. So there's a total of 10 bee fly species in the UK. But the cool things I like about bee flies is the larva is a parasitoid, meaning it's a parasite that will end up killing the host. So bee fly species are parasites for bees and wasps, but there are some that target beetles, grasshoppers, ants, moths, or caterpillars. The female will move her abdomen in a twerking motion to scoop up sand and gravel to coat the eggs. The sand protects and camouflages the eggs while also giving them extra weight. She then flies over the solitary bee's nest and flicks out the eggs, hoping they will hatch near the nest. The dark-edged bee fly's ovipositor, which is the egg-laying tube, has a spine that allows her to flick the eggs. This helps her do something called bombing, where she fires off a row of eggs. She's essentially carpet bombing her eggs, which she has to do while the bee is moving away from its nest. The bee fly needs to lay her eggs quickly as she is competing with other flies and wasps that are also trying to parasitize the solitary bees. When the eggs hatch, the bee fly larvae are very active. They have false legs that they use to enter the burrows of the bees, and they have been known to stuff their faces with all the pollen left for the bee babies. Then they go through a second metamorphosis called hypermetamorphosis, which is very rare in the insect world. It's like going from an active toddler to an enormous teenager that eats bee grubs. But yeah, that's it basically. So they look like these cute little things, but they've got a pretty mean streak in them.
They do.
But I love them nonetheless. I mean,
so Pookie's just posted something on Discord. That was really cool, by the way. I love bee flies. I think they are so underrated, and you just don't notice them either. Like, you hear this buzzing, and they're, like you say, they're moving around so much that it's very rare that you get to see them.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know they exist as well, which I find crazy. But yeah, let's all go and find some more bee flies.
Bee flies.
Bee flies.
Bee flies. Pookie's just put something on Discord on Mastodon, and it's an image. Unfortunately, it's in German, but I will read out the. I'll read out what it says in a second. Okay, but this is the image. Let me change that to this. Okay, so this is the image. Oh, you can't really see that. It's not very good.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little stone down here where my finger's tapping. Okay, and on there's a little bee. Oh, there we go. There's a bee on it, and then you can see gravel in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a reflection of cat in my phone.
Yeah, I know.
So, the stone reads in German, "Here rests Maya the bee, died from hunger because she can't eat stones."
Sad.
Because the garden behind it is only stones. No flowers. You guys don't know Maya the bee. No, we don't know Maya the bee. It's an urban activation thing in Germany. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Can we get Maya to come over here as well?
Yeah.
Wait, so it's like to encourage people not to gravel their stuff?
Oh, Maya is a cartoon TV show. Ah, okay. Was not aware of that. I may have to look this up.
Maya.
Maya the
What
bee.
type of bee are they?
Yeah, I was thinking,
Great
oh, yeah,
question.
Maya the Bee movie.
I haven't heard of this TV show.
A German is the main character of the adventure of Maya the Bee, a German book. Yeah. I now understand it.
That's cool. There we go. All the more reason to know Mo May and to let it bloom June.
Let It Bloom June. I haven't heard of that one.
There's also
Like,
July one, but I can't remember what the July one is.
Let the Bees Fly July.
Let the Bees Fly July. That's quite good. Yeah, I like that one.
I like it.
That is cool. Awesome.
Right, should we talk about news? Bee news.
Bee news.
Breaking bee news.
Breaking bee news. Okay, I need to do some stuff. Give me a second. This one. Can I? Is it that? Haha, yes. And then I need to play with...
Yeah, Barnacle Bum says no more May, June, July, August, September for me.
I am the same, Barnacle Bum. I am exactly the same. I literally don't cut my lawn all year until October is when I do it.
You have to cut it once a year, don't you? Because then it helps it bloom back. Sometimes I leave October depending on the forecast.
Yeah, sometimes things are flowering ridiculously late. I was saying
Yeah.
things flowering into like December, January is very weird.
Probably even more now with the unpredictable weather.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. I'm going to bring this one up. This is
from the BBC Bumblebee Collective. It's good.
Yeah.
Bumblebee Collective. Awesome. So this is Nick's news story.
Yes, so bumblebees surprise scientists with sophisticated social learning. Bees can teach others to master complex tasks and display a level of social learning traditionally thought exclusive to humans, scientists have found. A Queen Mary University experiment saw bumblebees learn to solve problems and pass the knowledge on to others. It is the first time scientists have seen this behavior in insects. Researchers say this reveals evidence of a kind of bee culture. The experiment saw a sugar water reward placed in a box. Bees needed to solve a two-step puzzle to get into it. This is an extremely difficult task for bees, says Dr. Alice Bridges, who worked on the research. First, bees had to push a blue lever that was blocking a red lever, then they could push the red lever to get the sugar water. A puzzle like this is too complex for a bee to solve on its own, so scientists trained some bees by offering separate rewards for the first and second steps. These trained bees were then paired with bees who had never seen the puzzle, and the reward for the first step was removed. Some of the untrained bees were able to learn both steps of the puzzle by watching the trained bees, without ever receiving a reward for the first step. The behavior the bees taught each other was more complicated than something they could have come up with themselves. Researchers say this could be evidence of a kind of cumulative culture in the animal kingdom, the idea of gradually accumulating knowledge and skills over generations. Imagine that you drop some children on a desert island, says Professor Lars Chichka. I don't pronounce that one, I hope that's correct, who also worked on the research. They might, with a bit of luck, survive, but they would never need to know how to read or write, because this requires learning from previous generations. This kind of cumulative acquisition of knowledge was thought to be unique to the human species. And this challenges the traditional view that only humans can socially learn complex behavior, he says. The study was published in the Nature Journal. Another recent study published in the journal Nature Human Behavior saw chimpanzees learn to solve a three-step puzzle through social learning.
Wow.
That's a really interesting article.
That is kind of cool. They're clever, aren't they?
It's looking at how challenging that actual like the blue and the red lever bit is that's up on screen at the moment. It's really well thought out.
Honest.
I saw something regarding, and I don't know what insect it was, but insects having to pull things out so it could get to the food inside. And I can't remember if it was a bee or a wasp, but they were doing something similar with that, and they were literally pulling out what looked like, I don't know, pegs that were in a piece of wood, and they had to pull them out, and they could only pull out a specific one to get what it is they wanted. So they had to learn which one it was, and they're always going back to the same one to take it out, which I thought was quite interesting. So very cool, though. The fact that bees can learn.
Yeah.
If bees can do it, what other species can do things similar or the same?
But then they're very advanced, like in social communication, aren't they? So, yeah.
So what type of bees do you think? Do you think it's honeybees? Like, do you think it's social bees, or do you think it's bumblebees or solitary bees that can do this? That can learn like this.
We've got to ID that bee in the picture now, haven't we?
Yeah.
A bumblebee.
It does look like a bumble.
Looks the same as the one there.
Yeah, I imagine it would be social, because if you're a solitary bee, there's no need to pass down to generations, because you don't mix with other bees, really.
Yeah, Pookie says bumble.
Bumble. The title says bumble.
Oh yeah, that would be quite helpful to look at.
Bumblebee surprise signage. Yeah, okay, cool. That's very funky. Yeah. Awesome. Right, moving on to the next story then. This is my one, which isn't quite such good news or interesting, I'm afraid. But it's early spring brings a hungry gap for bees. Here's how you can help. Buzz, little red-tailed bumblebee there. So, wild bees pollinate the crops and wild plants that feed us and sustain entire ecosystems, but many of the world's 20,000 bee species are in decline, which is a loss of habitat is chiefly to blame, especially the loss of plants that provide pollen and nectar for bees to feed themselves and their brood. Falling numbers of bees and other insect pollinators have prompted governments to respond. In the UK, Europe and US, pollinator planting initiatives have taken root, yet species continue to decline. At least part of the problem seems to be that these schemes, which offer guidance to farmers, gardeners and landowners, recommend planting flowers to feed bees that start blooming much too late. In a new study, they modelled the quantity of food available to bees in a computer simulation of a real farm. They found that the plant species recommended for pollinator planting in national initiatives tend to flower up to a month too late for the bees that emerge in the early spring. That's right now, in March and April. This hungry gap means fewer bee colonies survive to the end of the summer and not enough new queens are produced for the following year. The good news is that expanding these schemes to include plants that bloom very early in the spring could throw a lifeline to struggling bees. Why is the early spring so important? We wanted to find out when, during a typical season, limited food most threatens the fitness of bumblebees, and which plant species are most helpful for remedying this. The computer model simulations included multiple colonies of the buff-tailed bumblebee, Bombus terretris, and the common carder bee, Bombus pascurum. I hope I pronounced them right. Two Yuki species which emerge in spring. The computer model simulates the life cycle of bumblebees. In it, digital bees explore a realistic landscape, collecting nectar and pollen, forming colonies and caring for their brood. At the end of a season, males and daughter queens are produced, and over a number of years the population may prosper or decline. The landscape of a real farm is digitized to make the simulation, and the different areas, hedgerows, meadows and paddocks marked in a digital map. They could adjust the variety of flowering plants and these areas for different test runs. Adding plant species to the model that flower between March and April, like ground ivy, red dead nettle, maple, cherry, hawthorn or willow, improved the survival rate of these bee populations from 35 to 100% over 10 years. This meant that all colonies of both species survived each year a decade after these early flowering plants had been introduced. So there you go, folks. If you want to help bumblebees, plant ivy, red dead nettle, maple, cherry, hawthorn, or willow.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, instead of just saying plant these flowers and the bees will be fine,
Yeah.
you've actually got to take that into account when they flower.
Yeah. But the thing is, you take what, like, because they're literally like pollinator mixes, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, like, in all fairness to everyone else, I mean, I didn't know that.
Neither
I would
did
have been
I,
like,
actually.
amazing pollinator mix, but actually doesn't have the same effect as like our native hawthorns and blackthorns and stuff. So that's actually really useful to know.
Yeah, especially with changing climate as well. Some bees might be emerging even earlier than they would usually.
Yeah.
And especially need that extra help and energy and pollen.
And when you think about how little time, like, so we were talking about blackthorn a couple of weeks ago, weren't we? And we're taking pictures of the blackthorn and stuff. But most of that's gone now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're walking along and you still see the odd blackthorn tree with some flowers on it, but very few and far between now. And hawthorn hasn't started flowering yet, so there's that gap in between those two. Like my cherry tree's flowering now, but I'm noticing so many bumblebees on willow at the moment. So there we go.
Good thinking, right?
It's good to know, to be honest. It's good that this research is out there, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just taking that information in, and I'll probably use that rather than planting my pollinator mix. Probably go for a hawthorn or something, or blackthorn.
I'll be
I'm sure
doing
it's gonna help,
so once I've got my pond in, hopefully I'm digging that out this year, and I've moved my greenhouse slightly. There'll be a nice patch in between the pond and the greenhouse that I need to fill, and I've been thinking about like small shrubs like that I could do, and hawthorn, dogwood,
Dogwood.
blackthorn, and I can't remember the other one that I was thinking about putting in there, because you can cut them back. So it's all about for me. It's all about being able to manage the size. So I think hawthorn and dogwood and stuff would be really good in that little area. So that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, plant the blackthorn, then you can have slow gin cat.
Yeah, that is true.
That'd be very cool.
Then I have no excuse because I literally have a blackthorn.
Yeah. I also want to do a living fence. So not a hedge, a living fence, because I've got a fence that runs right down between myself and my neighbour, and it's the sunny side of the garden. So what I want to do is I want to build like 6 inches away from the fence, and I want to put a trellis up the whole way down to where the greenhouse is going to be, and then put in lots of climbers in there, so native climbers, so things like honeysuckle, which is really good for bees and pollinators. I don't know what else though. A fedge, half fence, half hedge. Fedge, that's a good idea.
Sounds like something
Fedge. We're gonna call it fedge from now on, Birdie Chris.
I do like that word, fedge.
Fedge, that's very cool.
I mean, ivy's always really nice.
Ivy's really good, yeah. The challenge you've got with ivy, and I love it. The challenge you've got with ivy though is controlling it.
Yeah.
Because it does go a bit mental, and it doesn't just go up. So things like honeysuckle and stuff just grow up; they don't grow along. Especially if they've got something to climb. Whereas ivy will just spread, and it'll come forward, it'll go back, it will go sideways, it will go up.
Yeah, could you manage it though? Like, loves ivy.
I've got ivy on the other side of the garden, so that's growing up the fence. So it's not like, and I've got it at the bottom of the garden as well. So it's not like I don't have any.
Hmm.
But there we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kat, do you have a news story for us?
I do have it. Well, it's not news. Well, it's kind of like a newsy article thing that I found really interesting. Um, and it is titled "The Best Way to Help Bees. Don't Become a Beekeeper Like I Did."
I saw this one and I thought about talking about this.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I saw
thought
this one as well.
yeah. So the background, it's basically about a used to be beekeeper. So when I set up my honeybee hive, I had no idea I might be harming wild bee species. Now I found better ways to encourage biodiversity. I took up urban beekeeping more than a decade ago with my best intentions. I wanted to help save bees from the many threats they face in the countryside. The modern farming practices that douse crops in toxic pesticides and rob bees of wildflower meadows. My small back garden filled with bee friendly flowers seemed like a paradise in comparison. But what I didn't know was that by keeping bees, I would only be helping one species of bee, the domesticated honeybee, which doesn't really need saving and possibly harming others. Most people think all bees make honey, a striped sting, and live in a colony of the queen, but this isn't the case. There are 270 different species of bees in the UK, and the honeybee is the only one that fits that description. Globally, there are about 25,000 different types of bee. Many are harmless. They come in plethora of patterns and colours, and only a tiny percentage live in social colonies. The overwhelming majority are solitary, which means that the female bee nests alone in nooks and crannies or makes underground burrows in which she lays her eggs. These solitary bees, along with bumblebees, the plump, densely haired ones, seem to defy aerodynamics, are all wild insects, which put them in a much greater peril from habitat loss than the molly-coddled honeybees we give hives to live in. When I collected a swarm of honeybees from my local beekeeping association to put in my hive, I knew none of this, nor that my newcomers may do more harm than good. Little research has been done back then to understand the decline in wild bees and other pollinators, including the potential negative impact played by managed honeybees. But recent studies conducted in Europe and North America seem to suggest that when honeybees are introduced into urban areas, they can outcompete wild bees. Bees only feed on nectar and pollen from a diversity of flowering plants and in return pollinate them. Honeybees have an unfair advantage over wild bees when it comes to competing for nectar and pollen because there are about 50,000 of them in a hive at the height of summer, compared with 100 or so bumblebees in a nest or a single solitary bee. They are also capable of foraging much further than other bees and have devised an ingenious waggle dance to communicate their fellow workers the directions and distance to an abundant source of food. In Munich, an increase in hives in the surrounding area reduced the number of wild bees recorded between May and July in the city's botanical garden. Similarly, in Paris, fewer wild bees were observed when more hives were introduced to the city. The findings were echoed in Montreal when between 2013 and 2020 witnessed a 12-fold increase in hives from 250 to almost 3,000. Sites with the largest increase had the biggest drop in wild bee species. And I'll stop
Wow.
it there. It just gives an overview, but I thought it was a really well-written article. And yeah, sometimes you're doing more harm than good. And I liked its point that with honeybees you get thousands in a hive, and then you've got a single solitary bee. Who's going to win?
Yeah, they opened your eyes a bit, doesn't it? Myself and Lisa have been talking about getting a beehive put in the garden once I've got the garden ready, and that makes me think. Although I do know that it's not just honeybees that go in, the beehives that we'd be getting, because it's from the Bee Conservation Society that we'd be getting it from. It's a whole bunch of different types of bees, lots of different families, so the solitary and all that kind of stuff as well. But it does make you think, like, what would happen?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it? It's just another thought, because I know a lot of people going, oh, yeah, we love bees, we love wildlife, we'll do this, but actually it's not exactly like that, which is, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for
I love
that.
the language, which these different articles and things like
Yeah.
wiggling motion, like yours with the beehive, like the twerking wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the words, descriptive words. It's great.
Cool. Have we got time for some bee facts?
There's always time for bee facts.
Bee facts.
Shall we finish off with bee facts?
Go
And then we'll call it there. I've got quite a few bee facts. That's quite a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is about how many eyes a bee has. As Austin Powers would say, ooh, beehive. That's quite good, Murder Chris. Cool. So how many eyes does a bee have? How many eyes do you think a bee has, Kat? Ooh, see.
I think it's a trick question. I mean,
Two.
You think 2? Okay, Nick, how many eyes do you think?
I'm going to say 5.
You're going to say 5, okay. Chat. Barnacle
4.
says 4. Impeccable
100.
says 100.
We've got a range.
It hasn't got any eyes. It's got 2 E's. Well done, Murder Chris. That's very good. Well, Nick is actually correct. It is 5 eyes. Bees have 5 eyes.
I was thinking because I can't remember the person you got the photos from, but one of them was really zoomed in, and on the head, like I could see the 2 larger eyes, and then there's 3 in the middle. So that was my guess.
Nice.
It's quite
5
cool.
eyes. That is cool.
So bees are insects, so they have 6 legs. Male bees in the hive are called drones. Bees fly about 20 miles per hour. That's really fast.
Gosh.
Jeez, that is fast.
Yeah. Female bees, except for the queen, are called worker bees. That's from the hive. A number of eggs laid by a queen are around about 2,000 per day at its highest. Losing its stinger will cause a bee to die. Bees have been here for about 30 million years. Bees carry pollen on their hind legs in a pollen basket or corpicula. There are a few exceptions, of which we've already described earlier on. On average, a beehive can hold around 50,000 bees, so there's a reason not to have a beehive in your garden. Foragers must collect nectar from about 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
That's quite sickening when you think about it. The average forager makes about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime.
Wow.
Bees have 2 pairs of wings. The principal form of communication among honeybees is through chemicals called pheromones. Bees are important because they pollinate approximately 130 agricultural crops. That's in the US. That includes fruit, fibre, nut and vegetable crops. Bees differ from wasps by being herbivorous, the adults feeding on nectar and pollen. Adult wasps are predators, feeding on invertebrates as well as nectar. Bees and wasps are from the same family. Okay, all bees are wasps, but not all wasps are bees. So the wasps came originally and bees diversified off. Where was I? There are over 20,000 known species of bee and 7 recognised biological families. Some species, including honeybees, bumblebees and stingless bees, live socially in colonies, while most species, over 90%, including mason bees, carpenter bees, leafcutter bees and sweat bees, are solitary. In Britain, we have around 270 species, just under 250 of which are solitary bees. So the 7 different families of bee. The first one is the Andrenidae, are all mining bees. Most of these bees are active in the early spring and have only a very light sting. Andrena bees can be readily distinguished from other bees by the velvety patches of hair on their faces. The Apidae family comprises honeybees, stingless bees, bumblebees, carpenter bees, Deodacia bees, longhorned bees, orchid bees, and the ground nesting Anthophora bees. Comprising of 2 genera, I think this is how you pronounce this, Solitidae, are often referred to as plaster bees because they line their nest cavities with a waterproof secretion. The bees in the genus Hylaeus are unique because the females carry pollen in a crop inside their bodies. The Halicitidae are so-called sweat bees. The Greek hals means salt. They are mining bees that are often brightly coloured in metallic blues and greens. The alkali bees are also part of this group. Apparently, sweat bees are called sweat bees because they are attracted to perspiration. The Megachilidae family contains all the bee genera that carry pollen on the underside of their abdomens. So that's the red mason bee you were talking about earlier, wasn't it? So that's that Megachilidae. Familiar members are the mason bees, carder bees, and leafcutter bees. Inhabitants of drier climates, the Melitidae are mining bees that often collect floral oils in addition to pollen and nectar. And finally, the small Australian mining bee family, Stenotrididae, is populated with bees known to be exceptionally fast flyers. If you think Australia is lucky to have an extra family of bees, it isn't so. Although they have Stenotrididae, they totally lack the Andrenidae, which was the first one. Are all mining bees. So there you go. There's some bee facts for you all.
It's a lot of bee knowledge.
That's a lot of bee knowledge. I did a lot of studying.
Love it. Unbelievable. I'm gonna say again.
I like your bees there, Barnacle Bum. They are very cute. You got Pride
Yeah.
Float, you got Pride Pog, and you've got Pride Cute. Look at that. Busy bees. I didn't realise there was over 20,000 species of bee. That's
Yeah, there's
Huge number. It's like twice as many bees as birds.
yeah. That's mad. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've learned a lot today.
Yeah, it's been great.
Hive of information.
I've enjoyed a bee spotlight.
Yeah. We'll have to have a think about what next one to do.
Yeah.
I think.
We want ideas from you as well, folks. Please share your ideas in Discord about what you would like. We'll post the Discord link again. Beetles. Ooh, Beetles.
Beetles.
Beetles. I mean, beetles could be fun.
Beetles could be fun,
That could be
actually.
very cool.
That could be really fun because there's so many beetles.
He's got to look for them.
Fine. Sold. Beetles.
So beetles are on the list possibly for May then. Okay.
They may.
After bees, next time has to be marine wildlife, the seas. Oh, it's not from bees, we move from bees to seas.
Bees.
I think Barnacle Bomb would win that one.
Yeah. I don't live near the sea, but I could give it a go. I could go.
Could just be water related.
I am going. So I'm going to the coast because my hometown's on the coast. When I go back to my parents in May, so I might get some stuff, but it'll probably be gulls.
No, the sea.
Seagull.
So yeah, that would be quite cool. If you want to keep up with everything, folks, please join us on Discord. We also have, and that was not what I meant to do. I meant to write Insta. So we have an Instagram account as well. You can keep up with us there. We also have X and YouTube,
Ooh.
where we have a couple of videos up already. We have last week's stream, and we also have the video of my first spot survey on there as well at the moment, independently, which is quite cool. Depending on where Andy is from, it could be the D. I'm a bit further south than the D, I'm afraid.
I'm sad we're going to be finished with the B jokes after this stream.
Oh no!
Damn. We're going to have to more B tools, I guess. B tool jokes.
Beetle jokes, yeah. That'll be the next one. Be Beetle jokes.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, what you got planned for the next couple of weeks then, Kat? Because you won't be here next week. So.
Ooh. What am I doing? Go on some nice walks. I will go some nice walks, and when we decide what we want to do, I'll be hunting for them. Well, you know what? Actually, adder. I'm gonna find an adder. I need to. That's
Awesome.
my.
That's your challenge for the next 2 weeks, is to come with pictures of an adder.
Well, I've been trying, but failing. So, yeah. Hopefully, the next 2 weeks. What about you both?
I'll let Nick go. On you go.
I don't have any definite plans, but probably nice few walks. Most of my wildlife encounter just happened by complete chance.
Yeah, same
Like
actually.
out at work, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So hopefully something exciting will pop up.
Yeah, nice.
I might, and I doubt this will happen, but a black kite was spotted in Nottinghamshire flying along the Trent not that long ago. I haven't seen any notification of it recently, but I am going to go for a few walks over the next week or so. You never know. I might be lucky.
You might be lucky.
Pookie hopes to find a wryneck and will be hunting owls. Been hunting owls, but no luck so far. And hope to find a wryneck as well. That would be very cool. And Burger Chris says, Beetle jokes. I have a few. A Fab 4, in fact. Just going to shake my head at that one, Burger Chris. I'm sorry.
We're still on B jokes. We got to hold off for the Beetle jokes now.
Yeah. Prepare yourself for the Beetle jokes.
Beetle jokes in next month. Yeah, but lots of gardening for me tomorrow, I think, if the weather allows. Be potting on a lot of tomatoes. I've got close to 200 tomato plants, I think. I haven't counted them yet, but there's a lot. I don't think I have enough pots. I'm going to have to go buy some more pots.
Tomatoes for everyone.
Yeah.
Tomato hedge. That could be your.
I could do a tomato hedge. That could be very cool.
Oh,
Tomato fedge.
Sounds like a dish.
It does.
You don't like a bit of tomato fedge?
So yeah, so that's tomorrow, and then definitely going to go out for a walk either Friday or Saturday. I just don't know which day yet. And then in a couple of weeks, so not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, so we'll see each other again before then. I have another bird survey I'm doing, so hopefully I'll be able to get some footage from that one as well.
Yeah.
And I've even got myself, so I've got a GoPro. I've had a GoPro for years, but I've now bought myself a little tripod for it, and and it also, which turns into a selfie stick.
Double use.
So I can now wander around doing like selfies and do videos and stuff. Like this. So the plan is to do a recording of a walk, and then edit that and do some stuff out regarding that, which would be quite cool. Even extends. Woo! So go really far away.
Wide angle selfies.
Well-angle selfies, yeah. So.
Love
So
it.
yeah, so I'd like to do like a recording of a walk around a little nature reserve or a patch of woods or something, and then I can take pictures and what I see. I heard tomato henge. Ooh, says Pookie. That's quite good. Tomato henge. Thank you, Barnacle Bomb. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Actually, there's going to be practice. Definitely going to be practice. I think over the next couple of weeks, and then I'm hoping to do the next spot survey I do. I've already talked to the person I do it with, which is Indy. I've asked if he'd be okay if I took a camera with me, and he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So I might actually record the whole thing, and then we can hopefully hear all the birds and stuff, and then I can do a longer video of the full survey, which took about an hour and a half last time. So I need quite a big memory card.
Well, we look forward to it.
So
See
there we
the
go.
result. Nice.
Right, I think that's it. It's after 9:30. We've been on for 2 hours, 2 minutes, 47, 48, 49, 50 seconds. So there we go. I hope you all have a fantastic week. You as well, Nick. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah, and I will see you in 2 weeks, Kat.
Yeah.
Good luck with that adder hunting.
Thanks. I'll need it probably.
and don't go climbing mountains with when it's windy and not wearing your splint again.
Yeah, no promises.
As soon as you get it off, right, you're just like, I'm never putting this back on again.
Got me up there.
I got mine off, and when I was going to physio, the physio asked me what I wanted to achieve, and I was like, okay, I want to be playing golf in 4 weeks' time. And she went, oh, so that's going to be challenging. And guess what I did in 4 weeks after I got it off?
No.
I was playing golf.
Love it.
So
I'll
yeah,
stop.
nothing stopped me.
Well, I feel like once the split's off, you're like, oh, I'm healed. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I can
definitely.
do anything.
Do anything. Lift this house up one hand.
Cool. Right, everybody, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the new follower, Kirkawa, as well. That's very appreciated. We will be back next Wednesday at 7:30 for our next stream. Nick, we've got to think about what we're going to cover and what we're going to call it. You're very welcome,
yeah.
Barnacle Bum, and thank you for joining us. We will be back in next week. Yeah, that's it. Any final words from either of yourselves?
Look forward to next time.
Dream, everybody.
Yeah, it's been great.
I have.
Buzz. Thank you, Impeccable. We will see you all next week.
We're buzzing.
Yeah, we are
Buzz
buzzing.
off.
We're buzzing off now. That's
Back
quite
to
good.
the hive.
Back to the hive. Yeah, amazing. Let's all buzz off then. Cool, brilliant. Thanks, everyone. We will see you all next week.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Buzz.